The 2015 FIA Asia Pacific Rally Championship has been a season of extremes. Along the way, there's been some flat-out driving, some unusual situations, and some things that just haven't gone to plan. In this program, we review the top 10 point scorers in a new championship category for 2015, the FIA Asia Pacific Rally Cup, powered by Würth. Equal 10th in the final cup standings was Eugene Cronier from New Caledonia. He started his home event in a much-used Mitsubishi Evo 9, aiming to push the international drivers in their high-performing Works Kota S2000s. For the whole event, he tracked and hounded them, ready to pounce should any of them run into trouble. He did get up into third place at one point, but Cronier eventually had to settle for fourth overall and 20 points in the Würth Rally Cup. Equalling his performance was Australian Eli Evans, thanks to a great result in his home event, the International Rally of Queensland. Pushing to the limit and sometimes beyond, Evans had his Citroën up in third place after 2 stages. The Citroën DS3 is a fast car, but with only 2-wheel drive, not even his expertise could keep the faster 4-wheel drive cars at bay. Evans only conceded 1 place though, finishing 4th overall. In 9th place in the Cup was Genki Takeuchi from Japan, who had a one-off run in the Malaysian rally for the Cusco racing team. Takeuchi arrived into the heat and humidity of Malaysia with no international experience. After a cautious start, running only 7th on the first stage, Takeuchi gradually increased his pace through the event to bring his Group N Subaru home in 4th place. It was also in Malaysia where Chinese driver Fan Fan put in a Cup points-winning drive in one of his team's new high-powered Mitsubishi Lancers. The Wanyu rally team had brought in former APRC champion Jussi Välimäki to drive the sister car, but when the Finnish driver went out early with turbo problems, team boss Fan Fan took over the challenge. Better still, in a typical Malaysian rally, with a mixture of weather and tricky stages through the palm oil plantations, Fan Fan secured 3rd place and 23 points in the Würth Rally Cup. Atsushi Masumura was the only non-registered driver to tackle 2 APRC events, earning 4 Würth Rally Cup points in Australia, a country where the Japanese driver has done most of his international rallying. On his home event in Hokkaido, Japan, when the rains came on day 1, Masumura was in his element, holding off the opposition as the conditions deteriorated and finishing the leg in 2nd place.
But the weather is very, very bad and the course is very slippery. My driving is very dangerous.
When the rain finally stopped on the last day, he slipped from 2nd to 3rd overall, but that was still enough to scoop 24 Würth points and 7th place on the final table. Indonesia's Subhan AXA has a lot of experience in international rallying, including a couple of years in the World Rally Championship. And while he only entered 2 APRC events in 2015, he scored big time in both. Driving a Group N Mitsubishi, AXA got his campaign off to a good start with 4th place on the fast roads in the opening round.
Been missing these New Zealand roads for quite some time, and then that's why I'm really happy to be able to make it to the finish despite all of the problems that we had in the past 2 days.
The next event for AXA was Australia, and like many, he found the unpredictable conditions at Rally Queensland a real challenge. He also battled with fuel starvation problems and then fought off the hard-charging Evans to finish in 3rd place. AXA, along with Italian co-driver Nicola Arena, celebrated with champagne. His podium finish also earning him 6th place in the Würth Cup points. Of all the drivers entered in the 2015 APRC, New Caledonian Jean-Louis Leroux was the most experienced, having started his career over 40 years ago in a BMW 2002, and having driven a huge variety of cars since. And he added another to that list when he turned up at the first round in New Zealand with a Kota Fabia S2000.
Yes, very exciting. It's a new car, fantastic car to drive, and this is my first rally with the car.
His debut in the car went very much to plan. Leroux finishing 5th and, more importantly, having settled into his new car in readiness for his home event in New Caledonia. Leroux is a legendary figure in the sport on the Pacific Island, and he was given a big send-off at the start ceremony in Noumea. When the event got going the following day on roller coaster roads, Leroux was in his element, taking the fight to his MRF teammates.
100, 7 right plus 100, slow crest, 7 left, 23 light.
In second place after the third stage, Leroux eventually had to give way to the younger drivers near the end of the leg. The following day he held on to finish 3rd, enjoying the podium presence in front of his home crowd. Next up for Leroux was Rally Queensland in Australia. After 2 events in the Skoda, it was time to up the pace. He had a scary moment near the end of day 1, and luckily he got away with it. He wrapped up his APRC campaign with 5th place in Australia and then made a surprise announcement.
Hopefully we'll see you again next year.
No,
No?
I'm going to retire.
So really this is your last international event?
I think so.
Yes.
I can change my mind, but you have to stop one day.